Good evening and welcome to News 360 from the News Hub here in Accra. I am Isa Moni.
And my name is Nanikia Mensah Brampa. Coming up in the headlines tonight.
News 360 Headlines is brought to you by Deluxipate, Heaven Black Mosquito Coil and Spray,
Premier Health Insurance, Calipo, and Nido Fortigro. Your love, their future.
And in the headlines, Media General bags 6 awards with News 360 adjudged TV News Program of the Year.
And lack of health facilities at Nadigri in the Timpani district compels parents to resort to family planning.
Also, interest in quail farming increasing in the Ashanti region. We will tell you why.
And in mission, school children at Kaireso in the East Gonja municipality of the northern region skip classes to direct traffic.
Later on the foreign front, China confirms it has detained head of Interpol, Meng Hongwei.
Now the news is also live on channel 279 on DSTV. You can also do a follow-up on 3news.com as the stories break through. Now let's do the first story. And 4 Lebanese businessmen have been arrested by the police for attempting to smuggle bundles of foreign currency. The arrest was upon a tip by an informant. The suspects had concealed bundles of dollars inside the rim of lorry tires. The cash was to be shipped to their home country, where their partners would retrieve the money without them having to pay any taxes to the country. The police has since commenced its investigations.
And our very first headline story, Media General owners of TV3 Network, 3FM, Onua FM, Connect FM, Akoma FM and 3news.com bagged 6 awards at this year's radio and television personality, that is the RTP Awards. Now, News 360 was adjudged TV News Program of the Year.
News 360 TV3. And the winner, News 360.
Organized by Big Event Ghana, the 8th Radio and Television Personality Award ceremony, which was held at the Accra International Conference Center on Saturday, was highly patronized. Expectations were high just before the show began. There were performances by Kidi, Kwame Eugene, Wendy Shea, and Okonfo Kwade. Several awards were at stake for the various media houses, personalities, and programs. Media General Group swept 6 awards in all. TV3's News 360 was adjudged TV News Program of the Year. Alfredo Kanse once again won the Male Newscaster of the Year award after he went home with same award last year. 3FM's morning show host Winston Amwa was adjudged the Radio Personality of the Year for the Greater Accra region.
Well, I've always insisted that the conviction remains the same. The media agenda must not only translate into a public agenda, but a policy agenda. I believe that together we've all made it.
And the winner is Johnny Hughes.
Multi-talented radio and TV broadcaster Johnny Hughes won the Male TV Morning Show Host of the Year award. Bright Asempa for Onua FM was adjudged Radio Development Show Host of the Year, and the Best Radio Personality for Western Region went to Parkwesi Simpson of Connect FM in Takoradi.
95.1 FM. Ghana for
We talk to my listeners and the entire team at Connect FM. It's been less than 6 months with Connect FM, and I'm Media General for that matter, but the best is yet to come. To God be the glory for the greatest year.
Alfredo Kanse and Johnny Hughes, who were beamed with smiles, expressed appreciation to the viewers of TV3.
And this was the TV3 news. The news that we put out there that makes the difference. That's what we're proud about. The TV3 newsroom. It's been a full year of work, and to wake up every morning at 3 a.m. you ask yourself what exactly is the motivation. The motivation is to scratch people where they actually are itching. By talking about the real issues, being humorous, being witty, and having a signature dance.
Richard Ahiable is head of corporate affairs for Media General.
On behalf of the entire leadership, I want to say a big thank you to the hard-working team we have at Media General, but also to say a big thank you to our viewers and our audience. It is because of them that we do everything we do. We dedicate every single award we win to them.
Right, now, parents at Nadigri in the Timpani district of the Upper East region say they have resorted to family planning to control child spacing because health facilities are not in existence. Communities with CHIPS compounds are under-resourced.
Nadigri, a farming community, is made up of 5 settler villages with a population of about 1,000. People here support the national food basket through the cultivation of maize, millet, groundnut, soybean, yam, amongst other cash crops. However, Nadigri cannot pride itself with any developmental project. The community is one of the 42 demarcated CHIPS zones in the Timpani district, but has poor infrastructure and remains under-resourced. Healthcare personnel posted to man the structure go through a lot to deliver the basic health needs of the inhabitants. The facility is a referral point, but basic medicine for treatment of common diseases are absent. The problems are enormous. There are no beds here as well. As a result, residents do not patronize the facility.
Currently, health insurance, we are supposed to have verification mechanism so that you verify before you treat your minor ailments like I mentioned, malaria, diarrhea, and acute respiratory tract infection. So because of that, there is no drugs for us to manage those minor ailments.
Healthcare here has been limited to outreach programs, which are not carried out every day. Expectant mothers and children suffer the most as antenatal services are not existent.
The structure alone will even tell you why you can't do ANC here. They can only come with a complaint what they need to do, and we refer them where they can go for their services. But as we go for home visits, we try to check their BP. If there is a problem, we ask them to go nearby facility at Uryanga to attend their service.
Parents meet periodically to deliberate on ways to sustain the health facility. Some fathers say in the face of slow response to their health needs, they have encouraged their wives to take on family planning as a measure to minimize diseases contracted by children.
Family planning is very good because family planning is helping us to space our children. We don't do family planning in less than 2 years where the child is not ready to have a junior one. We find our wives being pregnant. When that child is born, the child is weak. But someone who is doing family planning, who has spaced the time between the first child and the second child, you see the first child being stronger than someone who has never done family planning.
The district is handicapped in solving the numerous problems facing the CHIPS compound.
Once the infrastructure is not up to standard, hygiene is always a problem because you can see that it's a mud structure. All the time, the place will be dusty. The mud itself is peeling off. Basically, the problem we have throughout the district. Garu is more or less a poor place. We don't have enough funding, so they are constructing, but the demand is actually exceeding what they are able to do.
But District Chief Executive for Garu, Emmanuel Avoka, is assuring of an imminent intervention.
We have distributed a couple of motorcycles from the MP's Common Fund from the Timpani area to some selected CHIPS compounds. We also have done same with tricycles that will serve as means of transport for some selected CHIPS compounds. I can assure you that for the staffing, we're going to have more than necessary because we currently have a program that we're running. And we're going to engage every single individual who has some training in healthcare delivery.
With concerted efforts by stakeholders, Nadigri, just like other deprived rural communities in the Timpani district, would achieve the United Nations Sustainable Development Goal 3, which targets universal access to quality healthcare by 2030.
We're still looking at health care, this time in the Ashanti region, where mothers of children with cerebral palsy have called for an end to stigmatization against people with the condition. Now they claim children with a neurological disorder are often treated unfairly and discriminated against due to cultural practices. Ibrahim Abubakar has more.
Cerebral palsy is a defect in some part of the brain that leads to drastic slowdown of development of a baby. The condition is caused by a non-progressive brain injury or malformation that occurs while the child's brain is under development. Cerebral palsy primarily affects body movement and muscle coordination. Some mothers of children with cerebral palsy shared frustrations they go through in raising their kids.
My child is always stigmatized because of the disability. People should understand persons with disability need care and support. They are not cursed.
Public school anyway, a private school.
It was very difficult getting him enrolled in school. Public schools refused to enroll him. We eventually had to enroll him in a private special school. I have to support him all the time because of his disability.
Kids and Single Parent Care Foundation underscored the need for children living with the neurological disorder to be given better care. Founder of the foundation, Martha Opoku Ajiman, said the country has not done enough to support children with cerebral palsy and stressed the need for an all-inclusive education policy to encourage and adequately resource public, private and special schools to admit persons with a condition in their schools.
When they detect that the child has cerebral palsy, education should be on that. They shouldn't go to quack places, hospitals, doctors, fetish priests. I mean, these bring down the parent with CP, and it tends to poverty because most of them are extorted. Before they get to know that, well, we have to be at the hospital to help our kids, they'll have nothing to live on.
Cerebral palsy children, she said, are multi-talented, and if given the necessary attention, would perform incredibly well.
And let's remain on health. Ghana has only 23 dermatologists serving the entire population. The disturbing trend, according to the Chief Executive Officer of Rabito Clinic, Karen Henderson, is so because specialization in dermatology has not been made attractive enough.
The skin is the largest organ of the body with a total area of about 20 square feet. The skin protects, helps regulate body temperature, and permits the sensations of touch, heat, and cold. Due to the tropical climates, Ghanaians are prone to skin conditions, making the low number of dermatologists a challenge.
There are just not enough dermatologists available who can attend to all of those needs. But that's very much the case in all of Africa. On the entire continent, we don't even think that there are 300 dermatologists, let alone those who specialize in the treating of tropical diseases.
According to the CEO of Rabito Clinic, Karen Hendrickson, dermatology has not really been a preferred choice of specialty for most doctors.
Dermatology isn't something that is at the top. It's always been treated almost like a stepchild, so hence a lot of people have not chosen that as a specialty within Africa. We can let more doctors be aware of the dynamic and exciting nature of dermatology.
She cautioned the public to seek professional advice when they suffer from skin conditions other than resorting to quack doctors.
Now, the Ashanti Regional Health Directorate will from November 4 start a mass distribution of insecticide-treated mosquito nets to reduce the burden of malaria. The exercise is to improve the socio-economic development of the region by further reducing malaria cases.
Malaria accounts for 35% of OPD attendance in the various health facilities across the country. This figure, according to the Ashanti Regional Director of Health Services, is a reduction 5 years ago. Dr. Emmanuel Tinkrang said the Health Directorate wants to reduce it further. Thus, the decision to embark on yet another mass distribution of treated mosquito nets.
We realize that vector control is one of the key interventions. So we always advocate that people should sleep in bed nets, insecticide-treated bed nets. That means that as a health system, we also have to make the bed nets available and then encourage people to sleep in it.
The Health Directorate is also expected to begin a mass immunization of measles for children from 9 months to 5 years to sustain the zero death of the disease since 2003.
From 2003, we've not had any measles death in this country, but there's the need to sustain it and build on it. That means that we have to give the immunization and achieve a high coverage of about 95%. Before we can say that we've eliminated the condition.
The immunization exercise will start from October 17 to 22, 2018.
Now to other health news, and Ghana Health Service Council is devising strategies to attract and retain health professionals for postings in deprived areas. Chairman of the council, Dr. Yeboah, says an incentive, promotion and further training of such professionals will be done much faster than those in the cities. Here's a report by Ibrahim Abubakar.
The Ghana Health Service Council has been visiting some selected health facilities in the Ashanti region to assess their state and identify best practices. The council members visited the Nkabiatoase Government Hospital in the Chimamwebeja municipality, which is faced with accommodation challenges for the 2 resident doctors. Management of the hospital has, however, worked hard to achieve zero maternal mortality for the past 4 years amidst the challenges. Medical Superintendent Dr. Erikwame Deto said the existing infrastructure does not benefit the status of a municipal hospital.
This hospital is not a purposely built hospital. It was a maternity home initially. Then few structures were added to it. And when the then district assembly and now the municipal assembly moved to its current place, their old structures were given to have to use as a hospital. So the hospital is not purposely built.
The council members also visited the Kobeng Chips compound in the same municipality, as well as the Kumasi South Hospital, to interact with health staff and community leaders. Chairman of the Ghana Health Service Council, Dr. Yeboah, said there are plans to provide accommodation for the 2 medical doctors at Nkawie Hospital and also motorbikes for Kobeng Chips compound.
The council is working out a system where we have investors who want to invest in staff accommodation. Where the hospital has its own land without any litigation, we want such investors to visit such lands and put up staff accommodation. So we have noted Nkawie case as one of the areas that investors will soon go and look at the environment and see how best we can help them with accommodation.
Dr. Yeboah and the council is taking steps to attract and retain health professionals in deprived areas. Director General of the Ghana Health Services, Dr. Anthony Siansari, cautioned managers of public health facilities against surcharging subscribers of national health insurance. He noted the NHIS board is working towards ensuring claims are reimbursed on time.
In Ghana, the national health insurance system that we are running has no co-payment facility. So all national health insurance patients are supposed to be seen when they have the national health insurance, and it's under no circumstance should anybody ask for co-payment.
You're watching News 360. Remember, we're also streaming live on Facebook. It's TV3 Ghana. Let's move away from health and talk quail farming now. And it is not as popular as the production of other birds like poultry birds such as chicken and turkey. But there's a growing interest in the quail venture in the Ashanti region due to its high income earning opportunities. Benjamin Edu has more in this report.
The space economy associated with quail farming is fascinating. A small enclosure in this farm houses some 20,000 birds. A disinfectant serves as a doormat to the enclosure that houses the many cages of quails. The droppings of the birds are rich for the soil and therefore good for vegetable farming. Reverend Eric Boachi Yadom owns this quail farm at Abinase, Ejunase, in the Jiso municipality of the Ashanti region, inspired by a captivating success story of others engaged in the venture. Reverend Boachi Adom opted to give it a trial. He started production in 2015.
I ordered just and the best from Israel, so that when it arrived, lo and behold, this is how far we have reached.
Rearing the birds is cost effective. They mature within 6 to 7 weeks, and the female quails start laying eggs on daily basis. Reverend Adom collects a maximum of 15,000 crates a day from his 20,000 birds, and each crate contains 30 eggs sold at 15 cedis. He said the business can reduce youth unemployment in the country. Today, quail eggs are becoming a common feature on the egg market, though they are yet to surface in the neighborhoods of densely populated suburbs. There's a growing awareness of the nutritional benefits of the quail meat and eggs. The eggs are said to be naturally high in protein, iron, zinc, and vitamins A and C, among others. Peter Ampofo, who works for EBY Quail Farms, highlights some health benefits of consuming quails.
It also improves eye vision. It cleans the eye and also it cleans the body. It takes everything out of it, and it also improves hair. It increases the hair. The person who is suffering from any sickness at all, that person is going to take 5 a day. And for a normal person who is not generating anything from his body, is going to take 3.
The farmers believe quail farms can be carried out across the country when government shows sufficient interest in the venture.
NEWS360 is live from the News Hub here in Accra. We'll return shortly with Mission.
All right, thanks for staying with us on NEWS360. Time for Mission, now supported by Star Ghana with funding from Danida, UK Aid, and the European Union. We begin from the northern region, where pupils of Kaireso and 4 other adjoining communities in the East Gonja municipality of the region abandoned school to direct traffic off the Salagak-Bandai Road whenever it rains. Now, the Salagak-Bandai Road has been in a deplorable state for more than 3 decades.
Bandai and East Gonja produce chunk of the country's foodstuff. However, farmers are only able to harvest just a little crops because there are no good roads to aid in carting them to nearby market centers. Access to health care and usual commuting is also hindered by the deplorable state of most roads in both districts. This road, for instance, is supposed to be the highway linking Salaga and Pandai. But for years, it has been in a deplorable state, thereby increasing traveling hours. Portions of it get flooded each time it rains heavily. It has been raining 3 weeks continuously, and so lots of smaller water sources have gathered along the shoulders of the road, making it difficult for motorists to use. It was a Herculean task for most motorists. Areas where streams have increased in volumes and have become dangerous for navigation by motorists, children have offered themselves to direct traffic. These children are pupils but have shunned school for this menial job. They assist motor riders who are using the stretch for the first time to cross and charge 1 cedi per each person they assist to cross. Already, the children have spent more than 2 weeks on the stretch directing traffic. This has been the practice every rainy season. Municipal Chief Executive for East Gonja, Mohammed Amin, who described the development as unfortunate, said fixing deplorable roads in the area is key to avert the trend.
Even though they help in the course of directing the road, but adults should be able to be made to do that and not school children. And so it's a very bad practice. Any community where you find such a thing, this to be condemned. The way out is to fix the road. If the road is okay, how do you find a child on the road directing some traffic? So that is why we as leaders, we have made it mandatory on ourselves to push to get these roads fixed.
He said lack of commitment on the part of stakeholders has been the bane to poor education in the municipality.
Our teachers are doing well, but they need to step up. Most of them are not committed to the work. And our children to sometimes don't know why they go to school. They go to school, they don't take teaching and learning serious. Parents need to also step up. They are monitoring and performance of children at school and their activities at home. And the education directorate need to be resourced, okay, to be able to do effective monitoring and supervision. All this we know, and we are tackling them one after the other.
Putting a stop to the practice of pupils directing traffic and improving education in the Kwandai and East Gonja would require concerted effort by stakeholders. Stanley Nibleu, TV3 News, Salaga.
Well, not too much good news coming in from students or pupils inside Salaga, but let's look at some good news here for pupils and teachers of Tikarini EP Primary School, who can now heave a sigh of relief after almost 8 months of being exposed to hazardous weather conditions. Now, this follows the allocation of funds to the Kwandai District Assembly to re-roof the school after it was ripped off by rainstorms. Stanley Blow has this one.
In February this year, a rainstorm ripped off the roof of the Tikarini EP Basic School. 8 months on, the infrastructural situation of the school has deteriorated. This exposed teachers and pupils to hazards. Despite delays in addressing these challenges, District Chief Executive for Kwandai, Emmanuel Atta Tatablata, is optimistic re-roofing of the school will be done. Atta Tatablata revealed that Member of Parliament for Kwandai, Matthew Nyindam, has set aside funds to fix the infrastructural challenges of the school.
MP said, well, now that Assembly don't have money, we are all partnership in development. So if Assembly don't have money and he can do it, he want to take our burden from us as the MP. He want to do it completely. He want to re-roof it, and he want to do all the maintenance that it will take the school to be on its feet. I think the MP has taken the responsibility of doing it. He has given money to us to go and buy the balls, and he asked that the carpenter should give him the measurement for him to place order for the zinc. I have been in the community to let them know that MP is doing it. It is not assembled, but we are together.
Established more than 2 decades ago, the school serves more than 150 pupils from Tikarini and 4 other adjoining communities, but lacks teaching and learning materials. In some classes, it is a privilege for pupils to sit on broken pieces of desk on first-come, first-served basis due to limited desk. This affects academic work as pupils are compelled to sit awkwardly to write, while instructional hours are lost. As they strive to access education, these pupils must be given equal opportunities to succeed as their colleagues in urban communities. It behoves stakeholders to provide quality education at the basic level. TV3 Mission will update viewers on state of renovation at the Tikarini EP Basic School in the Kwandai district.
All right, so that will do for Mission tonight. Remember, Mission is supported by Star Ghana with funding from Danida UK Aid and the European Union.
Now let's move from up north to down south and to the Volta region, where the chiefs and people of Audome traditional area have urged government to continue with projects started by the previous administration to promote effective social and economic development of the area. At the 2018 Yam Festival dubbed Awo Day, the traditional leaders pledged to contribute their quota to help speed up developments in their communities.
With a population of about 48,000, the Awudome traditional area, which comprises Anyinawase, Chito, Avenue, Chibu, Dafo, Kwanta and Bame, has not seen any major infrastructural development for several years. Most roads linking major communities are in bad shape. This year's Yam Festival, which showcased rich traditions and culture of the people, was used to rally the communities to unite in order to support government improve the current state of the traditional area. Senior Divisional Chief and Acting President of Awudome Traditional Council, Togbe Ajesi Jaga, the Sixth, charged government to fulfill its promise of improving infrastructure in the area.
The whole Awudome community crave the indulgence of the government in person for the urgent rehabilitation and construction of the undermentioned roads. Anyinawase to Jolokweta Road, which has not seen any major upgrading in some cases since its construction in 1974. And in other cases, construction has been stalled. Anyinawase to Chibu Road to be constructed to provide easy access to our brothers and sisters instead of the current long hours through Asikuba.
Volta Regional Minister Dr. Archibald Lecha, whose speech was read for him, said government will improve on road infrastructure, insisting a lot has so far been done in the area of agriculture.
As part of Planting for Food and Jobs program in the whole West District, the whole West District is nursing 10,000 palm seedlings, 10,000 cashew seedlings, 10,000 cocoa seedlings, and 10,000 coffee seedlings for the district. And this is against next year. We have started the nurseries now, and next year, by May, June, the seedlings will be ready.
MP for Whole West District, Emmanuel Bejira, charged government not to pay lip service with its promises as there is nothing to show on the ground. The theme for the festival was Rallying Awudome State for Development.
Right, so let's turn our attentions to something on education, and some students awaiting enrollment onto the gold track and the government's free senior high school policy say they are earnestly learning on their own as school reopens for them on November 8, 2018. Now, according to the students, instead of loitering about, they gather in groups or do individual studies as they anticipate what SHS has for them. And Solomon Mensah has the detail.
First-year senior high school students under the gold track are expected to report to school on November 8, 2018. This will be after their colleagues on the green track who are currently in school vacate. It's about 3 weeks to the start of the academic term for the gold track students, and some of them say they have been learning on their own. At the A to Z preparatory school at Teshi in Accra, some students admitted they occasionally visit their former school to take guidance from their teachers.
I have some of the books we use at the SHS, so when I'm free, I take them and go through them. I had admission at St. Augustine's College in Cape Coast, and we were not given any books.
The Ghana Education Service promised to call and check up on students still at home, but Nell Bosu says she has not received any phone call from them yet.
I haven't gotten any call from GS. I had Ghana National College in Cape Coast, and I've been admitted in the school. And I have not been given any books to learn yet, but I'm preparing on my own.
Some students who sat for the WAEC private examinations and have been placed on the gold track lament there is so much injustice in society.
For me, I want to be an accountant at the same time a lawyer. I like the law, the way they dress and the way they give their judgment. And for me, I want to be a judge too at the same time because I want to give street judgment. I don't want anybody to misbehave in the society. So I want everybody to live well in the society and be happy.
Headmaster of A to Z Preparatory School, Achua Busa, said They have been assisting students on the Go track.
What we have put in place is we have installed guidance services for them to, as students, as part of their culture, if they are not encouraged all the time, their spirits tend to go down. So that is what we have done actually. We are trying to motivate them to be learning, to be doing all sorts of things. So as time goes on, we invite them to come around, we talk to them, we ask them to actually take their books seriously.
He has an advice for the Ghana Education Service. A parent, Nanama Osaitutu, whose ward is here to report to school, shares with the news team preparation so far.
She expects a lot because I've thought a lot that in boarding house you're going to meet all kinds of people, a lot of going to happen. I didn't get someone to take me through that. But fortunately for her, she has a mother who has been through a boarding house, so I think she's okay.
Right. Private developers, including churches, have taken over the St. Francis College of Education land, Sahoe, in the Volta region. Over 90 acres of the college's land size of 154 acres has been encroached by the developers. According to Robert Abelba, the intense encroachment has left the college with no space for expansion.
The St. Francis College of Education land was legally acquired from the Hohoe traditional authorities by the Catholic Mission over 110 years ago. However, only less than half of the land was developed due to lack of funds. Some residents, private estate developers, and even churches have taken undue advantage of the situation to encroach on the college lands, leaving them with no space to expand. Continuous efforts by staff to stop the encroachment over the years have fallen on deaf ears. Principal of the college, Raphael Kwashi, is devastated at the turn of events.
We need a lot of infrastructure, and this infrastructure will be built on land. So the land issue is very, very serious.
The St. Francis College of Education is also faced with other challenges, including bad road networks and uncompleted projects. This 8 units Get Fund staff accommodation has been abandoned after roofing due to non-payment. We were told the contractor is threatening to lock up the girls' dormitory and college secretary's bungalow in protest.
We have to always continue begging. We appeal to our stakeholders. We are appealing to the old students to come on board.
In more news tonight, the Crop Research Institute of the Council for Scientific and Industrial Research is developing over 23 new disease-resistant crop varieties to boost food insecurity in Ghana. Director of the institute, Dr. Stella Ama-Enin, says the varieties are also early maturing, high-yielding, and able to withstand harsh climatic conditions. Benjamin Edo's reports.
The new crop varieties include beans, cassava, plantain, yam, granuts, maize and pepper. According to the Director of Crop Research at CSIR, Dr. Stella Enin, the new varieties bring enormous benefits to seed growers, farmers and other value chain actors. She said the new crops will also have high nutritional value.
We are creating an army that is ready to deliver, to come up with to improve the productivity of our crops, to improve food security, to create jobs and wealth for our teeming farmers.
Dr. Enin spoke to TV3 at the CSIR's mentoring program for junior officers. The program was initiated to encourage young scientists to have their benefits to achieve their potentials by connecting them to more experienced scientists. It offers a platform for research scientists, technologists and principal technicians to groom young professionals. Dr. Stella Enin says the program supports career development of junior scientists. Some participants shared their views on the program.
Through this mentoring program, so I've been able to have 4 publications, 1 conference paper, and then I presented in Dar es Salaam, Tanzania, and then I got 1 book chapter in Yam book production guide in book Yam, and then I got 1 chapter too in taro seed production through this mentoring program with his help.
My background is in plant pathology and into plant breeding. Currently, we are developing maize varieties that are resistant to the most of the disease pathogens we have around. So even in the next 2 months, we are going to come out with varieties that are resistant to diseases and pests, and that are also high yielding.
You're watching News 360. When we return, it will be time for sports news.
Stay with us.
Welcome to the international segment of News 360, and we'll begin in China, where the country has confirmed it is holding the missing head of Interpol, Meng Hongwei. Beijing said he was under investigation by the country's anti-corruption body for unspecified breaches of the law. Meng, who is also listed as a vice minister of public security in China, was reported missing after traveling from the city of Lyon in France, where Interpol is based, to China. His family had not heard from him since he left Interpol headquarters on 25th September. Earlier, his wife, Grace Meng, told journalists she thought he was in danger. She issued an emotional plea for international help to find her husband. She said he had sent a message with a knife emoji on her mobile phone, signifying he was in danger. On Saturday, the International Police Agency urged China to clarify Meng's status, saying it was concerned about the well-being of its president.
And President Donald Trump's controversial nominee for the Supreme Court, Brett Kavanaugh, has been sworn in following weeks of rancorous debates. Now, the Senate earlier backed his nomination by 50 votes to 48. Brett Kavanaugh had been embroiled in a bitter battle to stave off claims of sexual assault, which he denies. But after an 11th-hour investigation by the FBI into the allegations, enough wavering, senators decided to support the nomination. His confirmation hands Donald Trump a political victory ahead of key midterm elections in November.
Time now for our entertainment news for the day. In this segment tonight, after so many years of off the music stage, prolific hip life artist Okomfo Kwade thrilled patrons with his hit songs to announce a comeback. 15 minutes on stage as was never a dull moment with Kwade. Let's see what came out.
Hip-life sensation Okomfo Kwade's performance at the RTP Awards was to help show industry solidarity for the artist's comeback. Jerry Anaba, known on stage as Okomfo Kwade, blends indigenous Ghanaian folktales with urban sounds. The Adjoya Mary Yaya Mimpina composer thrilled the over 1,000 audience during the RTP Awards night. Okomfo Kwade kept the fans alive with his hit songs. Ochiami Kofi was impressed with the Kaunaitosu composer.
I loved Okomfo Kwade's performance coming back, and you know, a stage like this, you come with your hit songs like Kitty did, like Kwame Eugene did, like Wendy Shea did. It's all beautiful back-to-back songs, and people get excited. You give them a good time for their money.
Right, haven't we missed him?
Never a dull moment with him. I enjoyed every bit of his tracks.
Yeah, you remember Mami Gello, Paul?
Yes. Actually,
yeah, you know.
Well, so I'm sure it was quite exciting there at the RTP. Looking at the number of awards we bagged there, six solid.
That's a huge
Let me add solid to it.
So let's congratulate our competitors, our colleagues, and those who made us proud yesterday from Onya FM, Johnny Hughes, Winston, and Alfredo Kansi. Congratulations to all of you for making us proud.
Well, Pakwesi also at Connect FM also bagged an award. And, well, NEWS360 was adjudged TV news program of the year, and that is the biggest fuzz of all.
Absolutely,
yeah.
Absolutely. All right, guys, congratulations, and always making it great for us. We are proud of you from Media General.
Yeah.
My name is
It's another one also to the technical team. Without them, we are not.
Absolutely.
So a big thank you to everyone who contributed to these awards and more. We're waiting for more next year, but that will do for NEWS360 tonight with me, Nanekia Mensah Brampa.
And I'm Isa Moni. Keep watching TV3.
GMB is up next, week 3, getting more exciting. Stay tuned to TV3. There's more. Good evening.